All right, I don't know if I have it on frontward or backward.
Oh, you got it right. You're natural. I love it. Okay, so yeah, we've got these pockets. They fit microphone accessories as well. Stick it in there.
I'm always running with a microphone.
Yeah,
so
exactly. This is perfect for you. Your new interview gear.
And I can do squats, which is good.
Freeing. See, feel that nice compression on the legs.
Flowy.
Yeah.
This is good. And I feel sassy. I can see if I'm running past a mirror, I would get inspired.
Check yourself out.
You
got it.
Yeah. We are here. I'm Joe, Spartan Up the podcast. I've got my team, Colonel Knight, on my left. I've got Medicine Woman Sefford on my right. And on the far right, Dr. Johnny Waite from Canada. If you've got a problem in your head, he can fix it. I've sent him all over the world, and he comes back with solutions. So Nicole Deboom, I checked her out. I threw on a skirt. I woke up 5 a.m. in Colorado. She's not only super athlete, won an Ironman, but she's an entrepreneur. She's unbelievable. You typically don't see those two things occur. You don't see a super athlete who spent most of the noise we hear in the background, by the way, is wood we're chopping.
Cutting wood for the winter.
Yeah, we're cutting wood because it's freezing in the room we're in. And there was a fire burning behind us. And so we're cutting about 3/4 wood today.
Focus is the reason you don't see them? Be able to be experts in both?
All right, forgetting about the wood, going back to focus. I don't know. I think the next 100 podcasts, the question I'm going to ask, and you guys hopefully help me answer, is why is it that a person that can climb Everest isn't necessarily a great business person? Why is it that a great business person isn't necessarily an Olympian?
Or why is it that they are if we find one that does translate?
Yeah, and so it blows me away when you meet Nicole Deboom. The skirt fit, and she was able to do both.
And look great on you, Joe.
And successful marriage. You know, she's got the whole package. So why is that? Because let's teach it and get people to emulate that.
Well, for starters, is that she met you at 5 a.m. That's a good start.
Good start, yeah. 5 a.m.
Yeah,
really good start. And she was putting on a race that morning. I think it was Saturday morning, and she just gets it done, cool. Which is half the battle, right? Yeah. She's getting it done.
Successful people always stay busy.
Right.
You know, I mean, the more busy you are, the better you are.
Well,
go to a restaurant on a night where no one's eating. It'll take 2 hours to get your meal. Go to night when it's packed, you'll get your meal in 5 minutes.
That's a good point.
Stay busy.
We're going to be plenty busy. We're doing 100 of these interviews, right?
We got 100. We got 100 of these to go. So let's watch Nicole. All right. So we're here in Boulder, and this is like the hotbed of all the athletes, right? Tell everybody who you are and why you're up at 5 a.m.
Okay, so I'm Nicole Deboom. I'm up at 5 a.m. because that's when we could squeeze this puppy in. I'm a busy woman. Today we have our 10-year anniversary of Skirt Sports virtual run. So we're actually doing a physical run here, and a bunch of women are going to start loading in while we're talking.
So Deboom, like the famous Deboom.
Oh, it's so famous. So famous.
Well, so your husband, Tim Deboom, super triathlete. You were pretty super as well. Well, you won some Ironman. Did you win one? How many did you win?
I won one Ironman, not in Hawaii. I was actually more of a short course girl. I liked those fast twitch muscles a little better. But in triathlon, short course is still 2 hours of racing. I never quite understood that.
And how long were you doing short course? You go backwards. You met Tim on a plane. He was on his way to...
Well, here's the cool part. We were both on our way to the ITU World Champs in Cancun, 1995. Yeah. We were pretty much just kids. Tim was already racing pro. I was an age group wannabe who was there to go have a party with a little race thrown in. And I remember sitting on the airplane. It was a connecting flight going down to Cancun, and all these really attractive, tanned, toned people were walking on the plane. My first thought was, I picked the right sport. This is awesome. And this really cute guy walked on. I thought, oh, God, I hope he sits next to me. And sure enough, he did.
No way. That
him.
Never happens on the airplane.
It doesn't, but it happened to me. And we got married a year later.
Wow.
So it was a quickie.
What was the move on the plane? How'd you make that happen?
Oh, I'm a little more social than Tim. Clearly, I had to be the one to break the ice. That was it. It was pretty easy.
Nice. So, and how'd you do down there at that race?
Oh, I don't even remember. All I remember is hooking up with Tim afterward.
Nice.
We'll keep it PG here, though. We're not
Yeah.
going to go into too many details.
Sure.
But back then, there really weren't even cell phones. So we had to connect through kind of love letters at first.
No,
It was really
actual
cool.
writing letters.
Yeah, he sent me a postcard after the race.
Nice.
And I thought, wow, this guy's special.
This is the guy.
Yeah.
And so then your careers both took off.
They did. I mean, Tim was already pretty much in the top of the game. He had been 10th that year at Hawaii at 24 years old.
Wow.
So
That was 95.
I was 95.
Yep.
And I was just getting into the sport. So I really wouldn't be here without Tim. I mean, I learned how to sit on his wheel and suffer for many years.
Right.
But he was phenomenal and a great guide for me. So I started racing pro in 1999.
Got it. And you've got this skirt business, which I didn't know
Oh, yeah.
anything about. And you
Now you do.
yeah. So tell me what happens there. How'd that happen?
Well, when I was racing, I saw what it took for Tim to be at the top. And I knew I had that in me for something in my life, but I just knew it wasn't going to be triathlon. I was great, but I wasn't quite at the top of the world level. So my mind was just sort of open. And for me, I had an epiphany run. I had that great idea that came to me while training, which I think happens to a lot of people. They just don't do anything about it.
Sure.
For me, we were living in Lyons, Colorado, and I was on a winter training run, running down Main Street, and I turned and looked at one of those big picture windows and kind of checking out my form, and instead of being inspired by what I saw, my first thought was I look like a boy. My second thought was I'm totally uninspired. And my third thought was I just want to feel pretty. Can I do something about this? Can I change the way I feel while I'm out training? And that word just sort of spiraled in my head. And I went home and wrote the word pretty. And I want to make a women's clothing line that's sexy, something totally different.
But you looked in the window, you didn't see skirt. You just thought, what could women wear?
Yes, it was broader than that.
Right.
But when I started to say out loud, I think I'm going to start a clothing company, which I had no idea how to do.
Right.
Tim actually kind of brought me back to reality and said, Nicole, every great designer starts with one thing. I think you should focus on that one thing in that little scribbled, notebook of designs that really epitomizes your concept. Right. So I said, it's the skirt. No one's ever done it before. And clearly, if you're wearing it, you want to look cute.
Right. And so that was what year?
2003, December 2003.
And how long, from the time you went on the run to the time you went to the notebook, then how long did it take to?
Well, it took about 9 months to have a prototype made. I was still racing professionally. You don't quit your job until you know the next thing's going to take off, right?
Sure.
So I wore that prototype at Ironman, Wisconsin, September 2004, 9 months. And it was really cool because
you only had one.
I had one prototype.
Did you sew it? You actually sat there?
I had a seamstress sew it for me.
Yeah.
And it was a race belt skirt. So I wanted my number on it.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing it today, but we could see it in the box later.
Yeah.
I wanted my number on it. I wanted a little pocket in it, but really I wanted to cover my butt.
Right.
Because I just wanted a little extra coverage, and I just wanted a little something to give me some more energy.
Right.
So I put it on for the run. I was in third place. And on that rowdy Madison campus course, they're watching the leaders come through, and they're like, oh, here she comes, go third woman. And then I would run by, and I would hear, what was she wearing? Was that a skirt? It was like this ripple effect, right? So the second loop, I'm winning. I had passed all the women.
Was
I'm
it
winning.
tell the truth, was it the skirt that's you're thinking, man, if I could win with this skirt.
Oh, it was a perfect storm. It was like a dream come true. Right. On that second loop, as I would come around, they're looking for the lead woman. Where is she? Here she comes. It's the skirt. It was like a revolution. It happened on the course that day. It was this defining moment. So very cool.
It, and you won.
Won the race. My one and only Ironman.
Did you
couldn't have done it better.
Forget about the skirt? Did you go into that race thinking you could win that one, or was that?
I did. I mean, it was definitely tough competition. It always is. But in my head, I knew that there was a good chance.
I had a tough time in Wisconsin. I didn't like that one so much.
Oh, really? What year did you do it?
I don't even know. It's a blur to me. And
maybe you were there.
I might have been there. It was probably, if I had to guess, 2003-ish.
Oh, wow.
And maybe 4. And I do remember my wife had booked me a hotel that was about 15 miles from there.
Oh.
And I had no way of getting, when you get to the finish line.
Did you ride your bike?
I rode my bike. It was terrible.
No.
It was terrible.
Oh, my God.
I remember that. That's the only thing I remember about
My favorite thing about that race was that I ate my oatmeal cream pies on the bike.
Nice.
That was my like special needs food on the bike. Oatmeal cream pies, the Little Debbie's.
Oh, Little Debbie's.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
That was the gas station food I always trained with because it cost $0.25.
Right, and so you're out on the road anyway. You grab
Yeah.
that at the gas station.
Yeah, you'd always grab it, and so I'm like,
But
well, I'm gonna race with what I trained with.
If you eat too many of those, you need a skirt.
That's true. You need a little more coverage.
So show us the first skirt.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, it's really cool. You can't really make a skirt like this in production. There's like some really fun little artistic stitch work in there and all that good stuff. So I put this little guy on, and it was more like a loincloth, really, truly. But the concept was there, and you can just see it. I mean,
But it looked good.
it looked great, and that
Yeah.
emotion was
Yeah.
real. It was just a perfect storm. Like I said, you just couldn't pick a better way to launch a company.
And so you come across the finish line. You're the winner. People are screaming, "It's the skirt lady." Good time.
Yeah.
So what happens then?
So,
Because now the hard part starts.
right. But at the time, you don't know it's the hard part, or you wouldn't do it.
Right.
Is that right?
Right. You didn't have a
So-
business plan laid out or anything.
No,
Right.
I had 5 pages of notes on how I wanted to change the world, how I wanted to give back to stop childhood obesity. That would be the part that benefited from it. You know, parts of the plan came to fruition. Other parts are still in work, you know.
Yeah.
But I think I was pretty non-traditional. I have no business background except being a professional triathlete.
Sure.
I mean, more on the marketing side.
So you're type A personality, and you wake up early and you get it done, which is really what business is about.
It is. And, you know, I use a lot of what I used in my racing career in business all the time. I mean, I look at it as like an aid station approach to business. Because if you start and you go, okay, I'm going to do mile 26, you're not going to get there. So you got to get to mile 1, 2, 3. And each mile, you're doing 1, 2, 3 more.
Right.
And you stop, you take a drink, you might not stop, you slow down a little, you reassess, am I on the right track? Keep going, check your body, you know, the whole
Make
thing.
adjustments if necessary.
Totally. And then the adjustments are bringing you on different courses too. It's like the biggest thing about business for me is that it takes longer and costs more than you think. And what you think it's going to be, it never is. It's so you're guessing and you're going to be wrong. It's just how far wrong you're going to be. And so you have to get comfortable with that comfortable level of discomfort. It's just like training and racing. You're out there, you're pushing, but you're kind of in this like comfortable discomfort zone, right?
We're hearing very similar thoughts here to wherever we go. This is what we hear. So we'll be right back.
I hope you're not sitting still while you listen. If you are, you better get a burpee break in.
We're back. She's a fireball. She wants to show me something. What are we doing?
All right, come on, follow me. Follow me.
right.
It's a tour of skirt, the Tour de Skirt. Oh my. So
The toast is still out. I'm gluten free.
Oh, you can't eat that, Ben.
I can't eat that.
My skills are not in top level organization. That I know about myself. It's okay. I'm organized in different ways, right?
But that's a tough. I'm curious about that. Let's talk about that for a second because it's tough to run a business and not be super organized.
Right. It does come back
So
and
how
get you.
Yeah. How do you handle that?
Well, they're gut checks every once in a while. Every once in a while, I'll get on the sticky note binge, and then I'm just scattered like crazy. When you start the sticky notes, it's all over.
Yeah.
You got to stop yourself real quick because
Yeah, yeah.
those take you nuts.
But isn't that bad?
No, it's not. It's really not that bad. I just have a lot of papers, and then I don't know where to put them. And you know what? In the end, for years, it's like, well, get a personal assistant. Well, should I spend money on a personal assistant or more marketing? Go out into more events, get more women running. Like, I just can't justify some of those small things.
Yeah.
At some point, it's going to change. But right now, when I had my 2-year-old, my mind, I don't even know how to say it, but the clutter in my mind reached a different level, or there was less room in my mind for clutter. So I've really had to work hard on that
Get rid of it.
concept of, with training, no junk miles. Right.
Right.
So my office is like kind of a museum of skirt sports. There's a lot going on here. I'm very colorful. I like lots of, fun stimulation. Some cool things up here. I got my athletic background in swimming. I was a swimmer in the Midwest. It was boring, so we just got thrown into sports, and I floated up to the top in swimming. Let's say that.
Nice.
In
Like what level? Yeah.
1988, I swam in the Olympic trials. That's my only piece of evidence an old ripped swim cap that I
Nice.
stuck in a frame like 12 years ago.
Nice.
I was 16. I swam 100 breaststroke, and I was a top recruit, so I went to college and swam.
Nice.
And that after college led to getting into triathlon.
5 hours a day in the pool?
Yeah. 5 hours a day in the pool, and then you had your dry land. At the time, it was dry land, much like what's kind of coming back.
Give me which dry land training for a swimmer?
We would do lots of crunches and ab work and partner things, a lot of dips, some pull-ups, just push-ups, squats, jumps, lots of jumps, because, you'd be jumping off the walls.
Right.
And the streamline, did you notice?
Yeah,
Still
that
got the
was good.
streamline
You got
going
it.
on?
Yeah.
I know. It's really cool.
What amazes me about a swimmer, though, is 5 hours a day, a lot of athletes put in that time, but it's boring. And so you got to have a mind that's like unbelievable, right? I mean, you could handle a Siberian jail.
It's tough. I remember my dad, he's a very practical, logical guy, going, so are you getting your list done in your head? Are you like doing your homework? And I was like, no, I'm just swimming. I'm counting my strokes. I'm breathing. I'm listening to my body. I'm working on my technique. That's what I did.
All day, every day.
Day in, day out.
Yeah.
But I loved it. It was me. It was my life. I feel like everyone in this world should have one thing that feels like home. I walk onto a pool deck, I smell that chlorine, I'm like, I'm home. I know exactly what to do.
Right.
Grab a kickboard, pick a lane, talk to someone, go da-da-da-da. You work on it.
Home. Yeah, that makes sense.
Isn't that cool?
Yep.
This is the first brainstorm of Skirt Sports. I don't even know what's on the backside.
That was after the run?
Yep, that was
Nice.
after my little epiphany run.
Had to be pretty.
Women's fitness clothing that you look and feel good wearing. What I've always wanted, like the Williams sisters were doing. They were like the only ones at the time.
All right.
And I really said, let's do what Juicy Sweats did. They took frumpy to sexy. They took sweatpants and made them
sexy.
insanely cute. Yeah. So it was a fun, fun beginning. That's where the brainstorms start, huh?
What's nice about this is I'm big on business. I'm very intrigued, and I want to know what makes it and what doesn't and why, so people can learn. And then I'm big on sports, right? And so here's a combination.
Yeah.
You don't. There's not much crossover. You don't meet a lot of super athletes that become entrepreneurs, but they should.
They should. I mean, they don't all have, they should. And then, like me, you have to recognize at what level you need to start to focus yourself again. Because I would go, okay, this is the beginning of the company. There's 100 jobs. I did them all. And then as you grow, you're carving out jobs. So now I do this amount of jobs. Right? And that's cool.
If you say one secret to success, because you've been successful, what would the secret be?
Oh, geez. I think I'd say that you have to know 100% in your heart and mind that it's going to work. And if there's any doubt whatsoever, you don't even need to take one step down the path. Because if you don't believe it in 100%, you're not going to make it. That's my little secret.
I agree with that. And I like what you said before, which was if you had laid out a detailed plan, you might not have done it.
Oh, for sure.
Right? Because then you can talk yourself out of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, because something's going wrong. You don't have that flexible mindset. You have to have that.
And you started on a road that you have to make a lot of lefts and rights, and you might end up somewhere completely different than where you started.
Absolutely, for sure. I mean, the first mistake people make is predicting who their customer is. It's totally not the same customer I thought it was going to be.
Sure.
And it's a better customer.
Yeah, but it's still women are wearing skirts, not men.
Well, there's a few. Actually, let's go over. Come on, I'm going to show you some stuff. We're going to get you in one.
I'm going to wear a skirt. All right. Where are we going?
All right, we're going to head this way. Oh, hi, Janelle. Come on in. This is Janelle.
Hi, Janelle.
Janelle's in charge of putting on our events. She's
Nice.
getting things organized and ready today.
I'm going to get a skirt, Janelle.
I'm gonna walk you through the skirt boutique. Let's just stop at this little section. We got a roadblock. So we are the company that created the first running skirt, which now doesn't seem like a big deal, but back then it was. It became one of the most, I'd say, polarizing topics in women's running. If you look back on forums, people were up in arms. I mean, it was both sides of the camp.
What woman would be upset why?
They didn't think it was for serious athletes. I said, go look at my Ironman winning photos.
Right.
Hello.
Right.
But, and there were women who just said, why should I have to care how I look? And when I work, I don't care if you care. I just want to feel good for myself.
Right.
And there were so many women out there who said, well, I'm with you, Nicole. What took you so long? So what we do, our super secret to success, We've created a way for women's thighs not to chafe. That's the key. We build in 5-inch shorties as our best-selling style. We've got 7-inch shorts. I'm wearing the capri style. But the big thing is that we've got pockets galore. We've got a pocket on each leg. You can fit your phone. I normally have mine in there. We've got a little music port. Most people listen to music these days. Thread your cord up and out. Perfect length. And it's not only do you get a little more coverage, it gives you a little extra sass. It's an attitude piece. Yeah,
well,
it's
it worked.
awesome.
You won the Ironman with it.
I did. And now we've got 50 styles. We are a year-round brand. We're just
do you
sports
see
bras,
a lot of the high-end athletes? Are they wearing them?
High-end, I'd say not the elite and pros because there is a draft performance factor. They may train in them.
Right.
But for 99.5% of people, that doesn't really matter.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, what could I try on?
Let's put you in our bestseller, the Gym Girl.
Yeah, I need the Gym Girl.
Yeah, do you want to go with a cute print? Maybe
I'm like a solids kind of person.
Solids kind of guy. You want to go black? You want to go a little...
I could try that. Let's do 10.
Okay.
Ready? Down. 1. 2.
I got to get my chest out.
I love the skirt, by the way. These are made for burpees.
So you look like you're spoiled now. Will you ever be able to do burpees not in a skirt?
I'll tell you what, it was really comfortable. The air was flowing. I've done a lot of burpees, and none felt as good as with the skirt on.
Fantastic.
Even when you hit the ground.
Even when I hit the
Was there
ground.
enough padding there?
It was good. It was
Beautiful.
good.
Skirts are good.
Yeah, some great lessons in there. What you spent the time with her. What was the most important thing that you took from that?
I could hear her because there was no one cutting wood outside the office there. No, she was amazing. It wasn't any different than any successful person. I think what Colonel Nye said earlier, which was she just gets it done, right? She gets up at 5 a.m. She doesn't take no for an answer. She's she bites off little bite-sized pieces, right? She's not looking so far out that it's daunting. She does what a good entrepreneur does.
And she says she does it, with 100% of her heart, right? And gets organized. And I like the idea of the no junk miles. It's like just clear out the clutter, clear out, and stay focused.
But all those yellow stickies looked a little bit like a beautiful mine there for a second.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, where are you going with that?
I did get scared. I get scared when I walk in someone's car, like if we're about to hire somebody and I go in their car and it's a disaster and there's cigarettes on the floor and sandwiches and that's not somebody.
I'd assume the cigarettes on the floor would be a good start to that. That's not the person you
want to hire.
Yeah.
And so when I saw stickies everywhere, I thought, wow, that's incongruent with what's going on.
It's interesting, though. She talked about that, right? She said every now and then she goes in these sticky frenzies and she knows she's maybe a little out of control right then, but then finds a way to harness that, find good people to help her get back to, as she said, not doing the junk miles herself, like really keeping her focused.
Yeah, I think it's a way of kind of just spewing forth all of our ideas and thoughts at once, and then kind of somebody else takes it and breaks it down and puts it in a more logical flow.
I think that's what you do in your brainstorming, right? You just get the big concept and then you funnel it through and then it becomes awesome skirts.
And you've talked about how you like to do that with Spartan too, the idea that if everyone just has their set plan and they're only on that plan, you stay locked in and become stale. And I know that you'll come in and just start throwing stuff and want to hear people's ideas. So that's a bit of the sticky noting. It's just you have to do it in an organized way.
Disruption. I like planned disruption. So I agree with that. I think the no junk miles, we should talk more about that in many podcasts because that's the difference between success and failure, right? That ability to kind of block out all the noise and just focus on chasing the deer to get food.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Making the boat.
The noise.
Blocking the noise. Beautiful.
Blocking it.
Perfect.
For more information, go to SpartanUpPodcast.com, and that's where you'll see the show notes. You'll learn stuff that we didn't talk about here. I don't know what you'll do there, but it'll be fun. I'm sure.